Hello and welcome to Cat Yak, where everything's controlled by evil cats. My name's Beast. I'm a servant of the evil feline horde, and your host. So let's get started. Today finds us back with our favorite ghoul, the Crypt Keeper, with Tales from the Crypt, Season 1, Episode 3, Dig That Cat? He's Real Gone. The story originally was published in The Haunt of Fear number 21, and originally aired on HBO on June 10th, 1989. After our standard Crypt Keeper intro, the episode starts proper by touring a carnival, and a barker stops us and takes us into a tent, and introduces us to Ulrich the Undying and his latest trick that involves him being buried alive for 24 hours. Once sealed inside the coffin, Ulrich starts retelling his tale for the audience. Apparently, he was originally homeless when a strange doctor approached him late at night. The doctor offered him a handful of cash as long as he'd help out in one of his experiments. Ulrich agrees. At the doctor's lab, we find out he's interested in transferring the 9 lives of a cat into a human by transporting part of the cat's brain into Ulrich, supposedly giving Ulrich the 9 lives of the cat. And Ulrich seems excited about the prospect of being able to escape death multiple times. After the experiment, the doctor tests to see whether or not it was successful by shooting Ulrich in the head. Fortunately, Ulrich revives shortly, both to the excitement of himself and the doctor. Ulrich has successfully used one of his 9 lives. The doctor goes to pay the money to Ulrich, but then stops and tells him that they could make it double, maybe triple the money with the right investments for a fee. Ulrich agrees, and the two drive off to a down-on-their-luck carnival. They talk to the barker, and he agrees to the business arrangement. The first stunt Ulrich does for the carnival is a drowning chamber. They plan to leave him under the water for over an hour. Before the tank manages to completely fill, Ulrich manages to get the phone number of one of the female performances and gets offered to go out to dinner later. After Ulrich dies, they start a clock that ticks down for an hour, and the doctor pronounces him dead. They drain the tank, but Ulrich doesn't revive right away. But when he does, everyone's extremely excited. He has now used 2 lives. The next stunt is an Old West hanging that draws even more people and earns them even more money. Once again, Ulrich dies and is shortly resurrected. He has now died 3 times. By then, he, his female assistant, and the doctor are rolling in money, but he decides he wants a bigger cut. To do so, he does away with the doctor in a car crash. He has now died 4 times. His next stunt is a live execution, where they do a lottery with the audience members, where a little old lady is selected to flip the switch. Ulrich is eventually revived, but it takes longer than normally, and he has officially died 5 times. After that mishap, he makes sure it's a simple death this time. It's a human shooting gallery, where each person who gets to use the crossbow has to pay an additional $1,000 a shot. The first guy misses, the next to try is a father-son duo, but again, no good. So on comes the third attempt, and this one just happens to be a state fair archery champion, and thus this is the 6th time Ulrich has died. By then, his female assistant decides she wants a bigger cut of the money, and after stabbing Ulrich, she steals all the money and runs away. He has thus died 7 times. Only being able to die 1 more time and still be resurrected, Ulrich goes all in and makes this his biggest stunt ever. But this time he wants all the money, and finally, after arguing several times, the barker of the carnival agrees. And that brings us back to the start of the episode, with Ulrich being buried alive. And as he is slowly lowered into the ground, he remembers that although he's only died 7 times, the cat from the experiment had also died. He realizes that he had miscounted because, including the cat, he'd used up all of his lives, and there was no resurrection left for him. Overall, this is another great example of people making bad decisions / being greedy and ending up getting what they deserve. I enjoyed how they showed that with each of Ulrich's death and resurrections, he got a little bit greedier and greedier, and he was more willing to get his hands dirtier. First he killed the doctor, and then he got so greedy he got blind to the fact that his female assistant wanted his money instead of him. This episode currently has a 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb with a whopping 1,029 votes. I definitely enjoyed this episode, and the Crypt Keeper's bad TV-related puns at the end were top-notch as well. I give this a 3.5 out of 5 paws.